It's our phone-in segment. In the last couple of days, we have concentrated on how best to deploy the meager resources available to the subnationals. By that, I mean the states. They had been complaining about how there is not enough resources in the states to drive infrastructural development, and we have concentrated on what best we can do as states, to maximize the available resources, especially given that states are now receiving more money than they used to on account of the removal, or partial removal of fuel subsidy. Yesterday, we dwelled on whether it was desirable to continue to go after loans, given how difficult it has been to service even the ones that were taken before. Now, today, rather, we would be looking at fancy projects across states that seem to be gulfing billions and billions of naira without adding any value, if you like, to the states. As of January 2023, Ekiti State spent 16.6 billion on an unfinished airport, with funds used for perimeter fencing, runway, terminals, and farmer compensation. If you move over to Yobe State, they spent over 18 billion naira on an unused airport, and Nasarawa State invested 10 billion in a cargo airport to ease traffic from Abuja. Despite criticism from stakeholders who condemned the waste of 160 billion across 6 states, more states continue to invest in airport projects, many deemed unviable. Anambra Airport, initially estimated at $2 billion, was reported to have cost about $6 billion. So this morning we would like to get your take across states to help us identify some of these projects you consider fancy and what best you think the states will need at this time and where they can deploy these resources to at least stimulate the greatest good for the greatest number. Our numbers are now displayed on the screen. There are 2 of them. If you try one and you're finding it difficult to get through because of a busy trunk, please do well to use the second, to try the second number. I would like to get your views across various states. Once you call, introduce yourself, your name, where you're calling from. Do well to help us reduce the volume or completely put off the volume of your TV set, or best, speak to us away from your TV set. Share your perspective and create room for other people to also contribute to the show. So, that's the issue we're looking at this morning. And there are so many of these examples across the states, if you like, Lilian, from 1999 today.
Yeah, the problem with these projects is, yes, they might be fancy projects and might not seem necessary or might not seem important at a particular point in time. But the problem I always see with such projects is that there is no continuity. Another governor would come in and decide, oh, I don't think I love this project of doing an airport. I have something else I want to do that I'm going to continue with. At the end of the day, this one is being left abandoned. But we also have, the phone lines are open, so do well to call us, and then also send us WhatsApp messages as well, and then we'd also do well to take them here. All right, we have a caller. Good morning, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, you are speaking with Haliu from Kwara State.
Haliu, thank you for joining us. Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set so we could hear you properly?
Thank you, Mr. Haliru. Please go ahead and share your perspective. Oh my. Turning down the volume, he turned himself.
Okay, Haliru, do well to call us back. We'd really love to hear your thoughts. What projects do you think would rather be important than all these fancy projects like airports and some things that probably the states do not need or do need? Let's take this call. Good morning, what's your name and where are you calling from? Good. Okay. All
right. Please do well. Try again. We would like to hear from you. We would like you to share that important perspective you have with other viewers from across the country. You were given examples. There are some states that are really very small by landmarks and bordered to another state with a functional airport, and you begin to wonder whether you need that at all.
Yes.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello, good morning. Wow. We seem to be having some challenges with the lines this morning. Please, if you call one line and you're having challenges, please do well to call another. Luckily, we have two different network providers, so hopefully one of them should come through at this time.
You know, an example you gave of that would be, say tomorrow, Abia State decides that it wants to have an airport.
Yeah, working on it. There is a missing airport in Abia.
There's a missing airport in Abia. Okay. And we have an airport in Imo already, which...
You know, you can basically take a tricycle from the Owerri airport to
Abia.
Here. And then you begin to wonder whether you really do need another. I mean, look at Onitsha and Asaba, you know. All right, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Shetima Yakudima, calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Malan Shetima from Maiduguri.
Mr. John, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and I hope you are doing very well too.
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing very well.
Please go ahead and
You
share
see, Mr. John, the issue of the fancy projects in some states. Honestly speaking, some states, some of the projects is money wasting. Why did I say so? Like a state where you say project of airport. Airport is not demand of the populace of that state. Because if your state is not industrial or commercially powerful, you do not need an airport. People what they need, they will not do it. They will go in doing something else. Like in other states, you will see people, some governors, they are constructing schools. After all, there is hundreds of schools on the ground. Instead of them to revive or make that existing school functional, they went ahead and doing another project for schools. You see, these our governors, what they are doing is just to loot government treasury. They are not sincere at all. They are not sincere at all. You see, some states, the security is their problem. But they will not concentrate on the securities. What they are doing is the building project. This building project is where they have they take away people's monies. That's the reality.
Thank you.
And you see, now it was a rainy season. You can see how flood are destroying people's homes, but they don't care to go and give earth. What they are doing is to just duplicate projects and to support money.
Thank you very much, Shatima. From
you're welcome, Mr. John.
Thank you. Do have a great day. I mean, that's the point. The airports projects seem to be the one that come to mind. But I've traveled to states, and on getting into the state, I see flyovers, and I ask myself, what are we flying over? Is it just to decorate, fancify the landscape? I mean, I've seen one in Oka. There are several of them. They go like Janglova. You know what the kids call Janglova. And you ask yourself, why is there a need for a flyover here, really? Well, that's a story for another day. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. Can we have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Zaria.
Good morning, Mr. Mohammed from Zaria. How is Zaria this morning?
Zaria is okay, no problem.
Is it part of the places that were affected by flood in Kaduna?
No, not actually.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's good to know. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen, sorry with my voice, I have seen the topic, fancy capital projects, right?
Yes.
By the name of the project, already it has given the project a meaning. Fancy is there. In English, we all know what fancy means. When you are okay, then you talk about fancy. All these projects, they are earmarking. I can say this is an earmark. It's not a real project. If all these people want to do the right thing for the masses, for the country, Why can't they? We are all crying now, protesting against hunger. Why can't they invest properly on agriculture? Agricultural land is more than enough. God have given us more than enough in this country, more than enough. Not even enough, more than enough. Why can't they invest in agriculture? You are saying your station. I have seen a program how people are dying lively because of hunger in Nigeria. When they put all these projects, they are putting this project for themselves. I will give you an instance in agriculture. Forget about mining, forget about petroleum, forget about any other thing. In fact, cancel all the ministries in Nigeria. Develop Ministry of Agriculture. American will be looking at us. Because when you invest in food, you have finished everything. Your rate of disease will go down. Malnutrition and all this program around that. They will all go because you are feeding well. And if you walk out from your station now, please, I'm giving you an assignment. Have a look at many businesses around you till you go to your house. You find out they are all linked to agriculture. You will see people who are roasting corn, granite, whatever you can call. This is the only business you see. Why can't we invest in that? We are just wasting time talking, doing all this. In fact, go to other countries that we say developed countries, which is the developed countries in the world, America, China, whatever. Go and see. Go and see. You see, they don't joke with agriculture, because all of us, our lives depend on God and agriculture. Through agriculture, also you get your pharmaceutical factories running. You see, we all keep playing every day, this and that and that. They make, instead of making this fancy project, why can't they make fancy projects on roads, just roads in their own state? The roads where the masses live, make the roads viable for them, not airport. If a good road is there, if I want to travel to go to an airport of 200 kilometers, I will not worry myself. Absolutely. Because the road is there.
Absolutely. All right.
Please, this is my take. These people, they should change their, you don't need to talk to them, they should change their mind.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mohammed from Zaria.
I like what he said. We should do fancy projects in agriculture, fancy projects on the roads. We just saw the video of the Abuja-Kaduna highway that is linking the north to other parts of the country where we have a lot of farming belts along that area, and you can't even have good, accessible roads. Yet what is important is an airport. Or I remember in the States, I wouldn't want to mention the governor, but in a space of 1 year, we had textile and toothpick factory doing what?
All right. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Thank you. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Fatima. I'm calling from Adamawa.
I am really very delighted that a woman is calling in this morning. Ajay Fatima, good morning. Please go ahead. Where in Adamawa are you calling from? Jamaica, Numan? Where exactly?
Okay. I would like to talk about the Numan.
Great. So you're within the farming community. Please go ahead.
This fancy capital project, do you support it? No.
You need to reduce the volume of your TV set and speak to us directly so you don't have to stop and listen to yourself.
It's okay. As I said, that is why everybody needs to be a learned. When you come to study economics, there is what is called scale of preference.
Needs and wants.
Scale of preference, one must, come to talk about or put what is first before the next one. As the previous caller had just said, agriculture is our problem. Our number one problem is food. When we call back our mind over what had happened recently, the recent Okara on protest, honestly speaking, is still a shameful something as Nigeria, the giant of Africa. For its citizens to come out to protest just for food. We are lacking food. We lack food.
Thank you.
We need food.
All right.
So we are not talking about fancy capital projects. Honestly speaking, this topic should not even arise. This topic should not come into issue because we are still left behind. Nigeria, this name of the giant of Africa is not supposed to be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My name is Fatima, calling from Numan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fatima from Numan, and do have a great day. And your point is more than clear. It appears that we are a hungry giant. And basically, a giant that is hungry, it cannot live up to the expectations. Of that name. And that's the summary of what Hajia is saying. Or rather, Fatima is saying from Numan. We have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Okechukwu Mwogo, calling from Ebonyi State.
Good morning, Mr. Okechukwu from Ebonyi. I remember you commissioned your airports a little over a year ago. What's the traffic like to Ebonyi as far as that mega project is concerned?
Anyway, we don't have any traffic in Ebonyi State. We don't have any traffic issue. That's why after this.
I'm talking about the number of. I'm talking about the number of planes that have landed in that airport since commissioning.
None, sir.
None.
Yes. This fancy project has been a problem. Previous callers have made it clear that stomach infrastructure, stomach project should be the number one project a leader must consider. You can't imagine yourself leaving home, leaving your children behind, hungry. And you tell them that it shall be well. Now, if you come to one state where from residing in the capital, there is flyover everywhere, Abakaliki. Flyover. Our state is known for flyovers everywhere. I've taken time to stand beside one particular flyover, the one that crosses outside quarter to our new government house. I stood there for 1 hour and I could not see a single vehicle passing on that flyover. What is it for? Meanwhile, the rate of poverty in Ebonyi State is of the high side. I'm begging our leaders to stop these gimmicks, because they always look for a way to retire funds. You know, if you invest fund on agriculture, it will show. People will see it. The masses will see it. You see people smiling because they are eating. Invest on agriculture, invest on health sector, invest on education. These are the projects that when you do it, people will see, even the blind people will see.
Right.
Not coming up with a nonsense project. Flyover, international airport. When since they commissioned it, we've not even seen one flight. Is it not somebody that thinks of going to airport or thinks of planning the flyover?
All right. Thank you.
So our leaders should help us.
Thank you very much.
To cut this cost and let the masses enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that input. We will now move over to our social media handles, this time WhatsApp, to see what the reactions are from some of our viewers.
All right, we have this first one. Said, I am John Gindiri from Jos. The level of hunger and poverty is still very high. Thousands of children are malnourished. Insecurity is also high in the country. Mr. President promised Nigerians renewed hope, but where is the hope? Death is better than living in this country. I'm appealing to Mr. President to please pay NPAR beneficiaries their 8 months long overdue. If there's anything John has always been pushing out for this NPAR, but please, where there is hope, there's life, so please.
I don't know whether the suspension of the humanitarian minister has something to do with that, but yeah, we hope it is sorted. These projects are being done by the governors because of the huge kickbacks they get. Why would they be building flyovers while health, education, and agricultural sectors are completely neglected? And this is coming from Ibrahim Ahmed from Yola.
All right, now we have, okay, he didn't put his name, but he said each governor wants to leave behind a legacy project, no matter how unrequired it is. In Lafia now, there is an overpass and underpass being built where there is never traffic or gridlock. Another is being planned for Akwanga as we speak. Meanwhile, there are primary schools without roofs, primary health care without roofs, drugs and personnel littered all over the state. I mean, what do we know?
All right, taking one more from WhatsApp. Fancy capital projects are less or not viable projects. They are clearly corrupt self-enrichment projects of our governors, such as the cargo airports of Yobe State, that has been commissioned several times and is lying wasted. Education and health sectors deteriorating daily. This is coming from Shula from Maiduguri. You know, there isn't, you can't say, you just can't overstate the need to reconsider some of these projects. Fatima from Yola or from Numan, you know, talked about scale of preference. And one of the things we learned in economics coming up was the difference between needs and wants. And, you know, so, I mean, it's okay if you're a viable state and it has become a necessity to have an airport. But to put an airport down because another state has it makes no sense. For some of the airports, the only users of those airports are the state governors when they fly in and fly out. Some of these fancy projects also include private jets by states that are struggling to pay
salaries.
Yeah, you know, and so you begin to wonder, and they tell you how long it takes them to go to meeting in Abuja. And sometimes when you do this calculation, and it's happening with current serving states governors, where if you cumulate the number of times they have spent in Abuja and outside the state, it's far more outweighs the time they say. If you don't have the time to sit back in your state and listen and evaluate development needs and you know, roll up your sleeves and go into them, there is really no need for you to get into that office. If the state is too local for you to be based, then it is also way too local for you to be their governors. Allow people who want to sit back in the state, maximize resources and fix them, you know, rather than joking and wanting to catch up with, say, for instance, what the Lagos state governor does. He's got all the pus, to do most of these things. And I think that more than drives on the point. The need for states, like one of the callers said in Ebonyi, we don't have to tell them what to do, but they need to sit there and reevaluate their priorities. We have another caller. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Obi Goodheart. I'm calling from Plateau State.
All right, Mr. Obi.
The man with the good heart. Good morning. What part of Plateau are you calling from?
I'm from Southern Plateau.
Okay.
Lantern North, precisely.
Oh, nice. That's what I wanted to hear. And I hope the rains are coming, because that is a food belt for us in this country.
Actually, there is rain, but we are so lucky this time that it did not distract us. Last time, the rain overflowed there, but this season, God is helping us.
Thankfully,
we don't have much problem.
Thankfully, some parts of the country, we have people crying over excess rain, and some other parts, there is not enough. And I'm happy to hear you have more than enough to do your agri work. Please go ahead and share your perspective.
Honestly, our fancy capital projects, some projects do not call for. Even by seeing them, it is because of the gain, the personal gain the governor will have over that initiates such projects. But coming to see some projects, in fact, the necessity, you say the project of necessity, what people actually need. You see them, they will be boycotting it. Either that the former administration has initiated such, and coming on, they see that this is what will boost the economy of the state or make life better for poor people, they will divert it. The coming one will just ignore it completely and embark on a project that, seeing the project, that project makes no meaning. So sometimes they do it because of their political differences. Either someone from a different political party emerges as a governor, you don't want to finish up the project the previous administration started, and you would just like to embark on his own. And his own, he may not finish it till he leaves. I still stand on the fact that agriculture is the basic necessity. If you look at the European side, not only Europe, go to other side like Asia, you see some of them, the way they invest in agriculture, you see, it touches the life of people. Imagine Ukraine helping Nigeria with relief upon the fact that they are being hit with crisis from Russia. And you see they're helping Nigeria. As last year, I heard when one of the presidential candidate was commenting, how is it that crisis hits state like Ukraine is here to assist the country, Nigeria, the giant of Africa. And many of them do not think of anything necessary there. So I'm still talking to the governors. If actually any of them listens to this social media or listen to Trust Television, let them just use their brain, use their number 6, use their initiative, so that they will do something that when they leave, it's a legacy that will speak for them, even after they exit from the office. So I am still calling on them, a unified mind with other people calling that they should invest in agriculture. They should invest in mandates that will make life better. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Mr.
Obi Goodheart. And you have spoken indeed like a man with a good heart. And what Mr. Obi is saying is that legacy projects are not just airports and presidential flights and needless flyovers. Legacy, if you leave a legacy of enabling people to live a healthy, good life and provide quality education, you'll be remembered. And that is why we remember the Ziks of this world, the Awolowos of this world.
That is why I'll always remember Rochas Okorocha. Something stood out for me when I visited Uri. The schools. The schools were beautifully and properly built. No matter what you would say about Rochas, you can never say he did not invest in education.
Yeah, we saw the same thing with Rotimi Amechi in Port Harcourt and Bauchi State at the time, and including Maiduguri. Current Vice President did a number of projects, and you can't honestly say those were not impactful projects. So we need to redefine the concept of legacy. Being able to afford food under your tenure, promoting good maternal health, promoting reducing stunted growth, are all legacy projects that people will leave. Yeah, I mean, once people are satisfied, then you can begin to look at where you can put the extras. And I think that is the summary of our phone-in conversation this morning. Thank you very much for making it lively, for sharing this perspective with us.